Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock, and I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Number to join us on the program today is 888-250-2091. All right, if you are new to the program, if you've never listened to Compute This before, the Schrock Innovations Computer Company started out as a break-fix computer repair shop. And quickly, as life evolved over the last 2 decades, we've come to touch just about every digital aspect of our customers' lives. We help them with their phones, we help them with their tablets, we build their businesses' websites, we do corporate work, and of course we still fix broken computers, and we sell new computers, desktops, and laptops as well. We do all this through our 4 locations, 5 if you count the website, but 4 locations. The original was in Lincoln, Nebraska, 21 years ago, and is located at 7501 South 15th Street, just a couple blocks south of 14th and Pine Lake. Then came the Omaha Service Center after that at 168th and Burke, which is right across the street from the Village Point Mall, where the rent's cheaper. Well, it used to be anyway. Funny thing. Mall rents are going down? I don't understand. My rent went up. I don't understand what's going on. Maybe I just need a better negotiator. Then came Papillion. The Papillion Service Center is located off 84th and Highway 370 in Midlands Place there. And then we took a little bit of a break because after Papillion we said, whew, just get a lemonade or something. I'm tired, So then after, a little bit of a break, we decided we were opening our Des Moines location, which is located at 9500 University Avenue in West Des Moines, and that opening has been going phenomenally. So I want to remind everybody who's listening in Des Moines that you just have a few days left if you want to qualify to win that free laptop in the Des Moines Service Center. Any customer who comes in and does anything with us is qualified to win that laptop. So there's no purchase necessary. So you can come in and you can do some legit work on your computer if you want us to do. If there's some work that needs to be done, we're happy to do it. But we are giving away free maintenance checkups right now, so you can come on in and get a free maintenance check. We do have some people that come in and go out. They get a free check, and then they just take the free check and call it good. Nothing wrong with that. Gets you in the drawing. Either last week or the week before, I mentioned on air that when you get a maintenance checkup on your computer, you can expect up to 25% performance increase on that computer. Now, if you listen closely to what I said up to 25%. If you bring us a brand new computer out of the box and we open it up on the bench, we can't magically make it 25% faster than it is brand new. We can improve it a little bit. We can tweak it, remove the bloatware, do stuff like that to make the experience a little bit better. But what we're talking about when we say up to 25% speed improvement on the computer is somebody who's never had any maintenance done before, who has just been living life with their computer, accumulating all the garbage that you accumulate day by day. You might have a couple of glitches or issues that need to be resolved, and we go through and correct all that stuff. We had a customer in the Des Moines Service Center who, even though we corrected thousands of registry errors, moved gigabytes of junk files off the hard drive, tested everything in the computer to make sure it was going good. He had a mechanical hard drive. We did defragment that hard drive as part of the checkup. Even though we did all that stuff and we didn't charge anything for it, he was upset because he thought he should get a 25% performance increase on his computer because that's what I said on the radio. So I wanted to be really clear about this. Yes, I said up to 25%. Up to is one of those fun words in marketing that means it could be 0, it could be 25%, it could be 50%, but it just depends on where you're starting from, how bad it actually is when we start. So, and we're not charging you for it, so it's not like I'm having you come in and taking $90 from you and telling you your computer is going to be 25% faster. Now, we've been doing this for 21 years. We know that what we do to computers makes them faster. We know that when we buy the components to upgrade those ASUS laptops for our solid-state laptop line, that the hard drives that we put in are way faster than the hard drives that ASUS gives you. We know that the memory we put in the computers is way faster than the memory that ASUS gives you. We know that after we modify those computers, they fly. That's why customers love those laptops. That's why they come in and buy them from us rather than ordering them themselves from ASUS. Not that you can right now. Heck, I have a hard enough time doing it. But nevertheless, I wanted to make sure I talked about that. Now, also in the Des Moines Service Center, we are offering our normal specials as well. We have the free hour of labor for new customers, which of course applies in all of the service centers. A lot of times we have repeat customers, though. So, in Omaha, Lincoln, Papillion, a lot of you are repeat listeners and repeat customers. We love having you. But in Des Moines, pretty much nobody is a repeat customer because we just opened that service center. So I just wanted to make sure I let everybody know that if you are having a problem with your computer, an actual problem with it in Des Moines, and you're thinking, I might want to get entered in this drawing for the free laptop in the Des Moines Service Center, just come on in and let us work on your laptop with that free hour of labor. It doesn't cost you anything. You may as well take a look at it and get the job done. All right, so we have an interesting show coming up for you. If you missed last week's show, guys, last week we told you about the sneaky new way that Microsoft is downloading this giant feature update to your computer. 3 things to look for in a laptop that will boost your work productivity. So the 3 features that you really want to have to make your experience on a laptop better. Also, we talked about all the presidential hacking. We covered it all from every angle. There's no white gloves, there's no saints, and it's not China is for Biden and Russia is for Trump. They're equal opportunity hackers, and they will hack anything and anybody that they can get their hands on to get any information that they think might be of benefit to their countries. So we talked about that on the program last week. If you missed the show last week, it was a really good program. You can check it out on our website at SchrockInnovations.com. You can click on Compute This for the radio show, or you can always roll back down if you're listening on Facebook at Facebook.com/SchrockInnovations. You can just scroll down and, after this week's show, of course, you can click on last week's show and give that a listen as well. For those of you who are using the Facebook platform, we are streaming live on Facebook right now, Facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. And for those of you who are listening on Facebook right now, give me a shout and let me know how the audio levels are. The little audio graph was not working on Facebook this morning for some reason, so I took my best stab at a good audio level. Yeah, I can't actually hear what you're hearing. So let me know if it sounds good and everything on that end, and we can keep on going from there. I see that you're there, Winston. You can let me know. Winston's the unofficial audio engineer of the Schrock Innovations computer program, by the way. All right, so as numbers to join us. It is a call-in show, guys. There is no such thing as a silly question. The callers make the program because I can drone on for an hour about all the latest tech news and everything, but it's really interesting to hear other people call in with their issues and their problems and then get those problems resolved. 888-250-2091 is the number to call us on the program. And as we do every week, we're going to give away a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate to one lucky listener who makes an effort to call in and make a contribution of some sort to the program. Coming up on the program today, guys, we got some cool stuff going on. Last week we spent some time talking about the new Windows 10 feature update, the Windows version 20H2. Yes, it's not numbers. I know that. We can tell you all about that in a second. But that is being downloaded, or has been being downloaded to you. Has been being? Is that the way to say that? Microsoft has been downloading this to your computer for some time. There we go. When in doubt, rephrase it into something that you know sounds good. This update has been downloaded in snippets to your computer over time and installed. It's waiting for an activation command from Microsoft to turn on all the new features. What they're doing with this new feature upgrade is nuts, and we're going to tell you a little bit about that coming up. Also, you remember Prime Day? Usually Prime Day is like in July. It's like Christmas in July kind of thing, and Amazon discounts all their Amazon devices really deeply, and other merchants jump in on there and give discounts and things like that so you can save some money on stuff. Well, they kind of postponed it because of COVID this year, and there are some rumors that Prime Day is actually coming really soon. So we're going to tell you when Prime Day might be coming and what you will expect to see on Prime Day if you're an Amazon Prime member, which many of us are now. Also, super confusing. This has gone back and forth like a ping pong ball. Unless you live on a news program, you have no idea what in the world a WeChat is, or why a TikTok is important, or why kids like it. So we're going to give you the long and short version of what's going on with TikTok and WeChat and why it's changed in the last week. And what's going on, why the Trump administration was going to make ByteDance, the Chinese company that owns TikTok, sell TikTok to a U.S. company because they're collecting data, and it goes back to the facial recognition scans. And we'll get into that on the program as well. We have a lot of faces in America they don't have in China, a lot of ethnic facial types. And China needs that for their database. Where do you think they're getting it? So that's one of the reasons why this is happening. So we're going to tell you what's going on there and why the Trump administration first said, yay, sale, and then said, no sale, and then said, yay, sale again. Because it's super confusing. Depending on what day you pick up the newspaper, you have no idea what's going on. And lastly, for those of you who have iPhones, like my wife and my son, and now Papa's got one too, all it takes is one little 2.5-year-old to demand to FaceTime everybody that he knows has an iPhone right before he goes to sleep. And that's enough to get Papa to switch from Android to iPhone so that he can FaceTime with little Louie before bedtime. But Papa got an iPhone too. But all you guys got version 14. I say you guys because I have an Android. All you guys have version 14 that came down this week for the iPhone. We recommended you hold off on that, and it looks like that recommendation was legit. We're going to tell you what's going on with some bugs and issues. Nothing crazy or critical, but some bugs and issues definitely that need to be worked through. I would wait until 14.0.1 to install that on your phone. 888-250-2091. We're going to kick off the program this morning, guys, by telling you about what's going on with this Windows 10 feature upgrade, because this is super important. Every 6 months, for those of you new to the program, welcome to all of our listeners, by the way, in Kansas City on KMBZ 98.1. We love having you around with us here today. What's going on is every 6 months, Microsoft releases a new version of Windows 10. Now, back in my day, you upgraded from Windows 7 to Windows 10 and you called it good, right? Or Windows 95 to 98, just depending how long you've been around. Windows 3.1 to Windows 95. I was in college. My first computer was Windows 3.1. Before that, what were the Windows before that? Windows for Workgroups? That was before that. So anyway, every 6 months, Microsoft pushes down this new feature. They call it a feature update. We call it a feature upgrade, because update sounds like a patch. Upgrade sounds like you're getting a whole new version of an operating system, and that's what this is. They are literally taking a new version of Windows 10, installing it on your computer, and then rolling back your current installation, moving all of your stuff over into the new one, and pushing that out. And that's causing people to have problems. Imagine that. Some people have old hardware that doesn't work the way that Microsoft expects it to. Some people have bad hardware and they don't know it, which causes problems during the update, leading to them coming into the service center. Some people have perfectly good computers that just don't install it for whatever reason. Some people have incompatible software or junky antivirus that doesn't work with it. So there's all kinds of reasons that Windows 10 installs fail. About 20% of the time, a customer will have an issue with a Windows 10 feature upgrade. Now, in the past, you have had the ability to say, okay, I don't want this feature upgrade. I'm going to wait 30 days. I'm going to wait 60 days. I'm going to snooze it. And after you snooze it for so long, eventually it just installs. But it buys you a little time for the pioneers to take the arrows, right? And you figure out the bugs. Same reason you don't jump on iOS 14 the day it comes out. Okay, that's legitimate. Now, if you do the installation properly, you won't have those issues. But most people don't do the installation properly. They just let it automatically go through. So Microsoft wants this update to be a better experience for you. So what they've decided to do, they didn't say, maybe we should change something to make sure we test it on more computers before we push it out to you. They didn't say, maybe when we shouldn't break these things on people's computers to cause them to have to pay for a repair every 6 months on their computer, because, oh my gosh, it's the same people that get hit every single time. And they just hate Microsoft. I'm going to get an Apple. And then iOS 14 comes out and they're like, bah! Dang the man! You just can't win. It's just, this is how the world of technology is right now. So what do you do? Well, we have a program called Safe Upgrade. And Safe Upgrade does all the things a technician would do to install this on your computer safely, and then installs it for you. It's a piece of software, so you need one copy for each computer that you want to safely upgrade. This time around, we don't have 1,000 copies to sell. We're going to sell 500 licenses this time. The reason for that, Microsoft's already installing the update on your computer, and when they decide to launch it, they're going to flip a switch on their end, which means your computer's going to ask you to restart, and then, you've got the update. It is going to be an absolute nightmare. So you take an update that historically bricks 20% of the computers it touches, and then in different ways, every computer gets hit differently. Each update has its own major glitch or bug that caused an issue. One time it was the start menu wouldn't work anymore. They hit start, nothing would come up. You couldn't click on anything in the taskbar. It didn't work. Another time, it was graphics. Oh, wow, we made some changes to the way the graphics are handled, and older computers are having a really tough time with that, and they're blowing up. You just got to wait for an update from your graphics card company, because we all keep that on our Christmas card list. I mean, literally every single time there has been something major that's gone through. Edge. We're going to screw around with Edge. We're going to make it your default browser. We're going to make it, make it like Chrome now. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And every time they do it, it screws something up. Some unintended consequence happens. This update that's coming down right now to your computer and being installed in stealth in the background changes every single thing that caused problems for people over the last 5 or 6 upgrades at the same time. Not only that, it makes the changes to your computer, and then it's going to implement those changes globally for everybody at the exact same time. Nothing's going to go wrong there. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be a nightmare. This is going to be our bench. I mean, I guess it's good for us. It's going to be our bench full of computers, that people with problems. I'd rather have people coming in for maintenance checkups and leaving with smiles on their faces than having somebody kick them in the face and tell them to come into my shop and then leave with a grumble. I'd rather have the nice way. But yeah, that's what's going to happen, guys. Is 20% of the computers are going to get this, and normally that 20% is or 20% will have a problem with it. And normally that 20% is scaled out over time. So it doesn't all happen at one time. This time it's going to happen at one time. And we have to reduce the number of Safe Upgrade licenses that we have available to make sure that we can meet demand, to make sure that we don't end up with a situation where we're getting tons of calls from customers that are having problems with their computer because they didn't buy Safe Upgrade at the same time as customers are calling us for support with Safe Upgrade. We want to make sure that we keep that standard, that award-winning service excellence standard that we always want to have, and this is one way that we can do that. So I checked the numbers last night. I haven't looked at them this morning yet. We sold more than half of the available Safe Upgrade licenses in the first week. We've sent an email. We've done a radio show. That's all we've done so far. There are so many things that we haven't done yet. We're not doing any Facebook marketing yet at all. We haven't remarketed to the customers who purchased last time yet. There's a lot to do. So if you were thinking about grabbing a copy of Safe Upgrade, please do so before they're sold out. The address to do that is SchrockInnovations.com, SCHROCK Innovations.com. Click on Shop and then Specials, and you can add them to your cart. Add as many as you need for as many computers as you have. A lot of us have more computers in our homes now than we had last time because of the pandemic. If that's the case, make sure you get one for each computer, and then we're happy to get this update installed for you safely so that you don't just flip a switch and end up with this huge Microsoft update and all the problems that might come with it. It's like a little insurance policy because we stand behind it if we install it through Safe Upgrade. 888-250-2091. Hang on the line, Bonnie and Brian. Your calls are coming up next on Compute This. How to save video and send it later?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And Brian's got a good question, too.
Does he?
If he hangs up, he still wants you to answer it, but he's moving overseas to Portugal. He doesn't know if he should buy a laptop in the U.S. or buy one in Portugal.
Gotcha. Permanently moving?
I don't know.
Gotcha.
You want me to ask him?
That's all right.
Man, you're so much easier than the Mr. McKenna.
Oh, we'll ask him on the show.
Hey, baby man, have your name, please. Hi, Monica. How are you today? Wonderful. Can I get your phone number? All right, Monica, what's your question for Thor today? Oh, okay. Would you like to go on air with that?
I think I forgot to change my microphone settings, so you probably can't hear the callers. I just realized that. I think I left my microphone settings on Aftershock settings.
Oh, I can actually just tell you where the stores are in Omaha. We've got two.
Yeah.
The stores.
Well, then you get a bonus treat, don't you?
One of our stores is in. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Monica.
just looking at my laptop because it is like chugging. My processor's at 100% performance levels.
To the Village Point Center.
Man, it's a 7th gen, so maybe it is time that I didn't stay so cheap and bought something a little more powerful.
But yes, Village Point would be the best one, and it's right across the street from Festivus. It's just right across the street from there.
All right. Alrighty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Number to join us on the program this morning is 888-250-2091. Remember earlier when I said the little Facebook's audio graph wasn't working when I was turning the volume up and down, so I just took my best guess at an audio setting? Yeah, it's not working because I'm not using that microphone. Oops. So it's the in-studio microphone that we're using today. So for those of you who are listening on the Facebook feed, I will endeavor to make the callers audible to you, but the callers may sound a little light. But we've got some great callers already this morning. We want to jump right into those. Bonnie, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This? Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so there's a few different ways that you can do this. Probably, have you used Zoom before? Gotcha. So if you can actually install Zoom on your computer, the Zoom program, and then you can say I want to make a new meeting, and okay, new meeting, and then you don't invite anybody to the meeting. It's just you meeting by yourself because that's what we do. And then you can click on record the meeting, and it will literally record what you're saying and save it to the computer. So that's probably going to be the easiest way right now because unfortunately the video capture there's all kinds of different programs that you can do that. But the Zoom one is free. It's something you're going to need anyway installed on your computer. So it makes sense to not have multiple copies of the software. And then you can click record. Any meeting that you create, you can record. And so you probably already have it installed because you have a Zoom meeting once a month. So yeah, if you just click on Start in the lower left-hand corner and type Zoom, Z-O-O-M, it'll either already be installed on the computer, or I believe, make sure I get the URL correctly here. Is it Zoom? It's got to be Zoom.com. Yep. So you have to create a Zoom account so you can sign in, and then once you've signed in, you can host a meeting for free. And that meeting is just you. Now, limitations for the free meeting is it's going to be limited to 40 minutes or less. Hopefully you're not recording an audio message longer than 40 minutes, but the bigger question is, how do you plan to send the audio message to people? Okay, so there's a challenge here because there's a size restriction on what you can send in an email, and video files are very, very large files. So it's very difficult to send out. Is this like a personal video thing, or is it a like something that would be okay for the public to see? Okay. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so you wouldn't want to just upload that to YouTube or something like that. All right, so then the next thing is we need a cloud sharing service. And that sounds super complex and scary, but have you ever used Dropbox before? Yeah, so that's literally, if you have Dropbox installed on your computer, Okay. Well, if you install it, you get a free Dropbox account that it gives you a storage amount up to so many gigabytes. So what you would do then is you would record your video and then you would save it in the Dropbox folder, and then you can send links to your friends, and then they can look at the video that way. So it's a way for you can still share it through email, but you're not actually attaching the email or the video to the email. You're sending them a link, and that link says, oh, this is the video online, you can watch it there. And then it downloads it. When they click the link, it brings it down to their computer, and they can watch it. And that's all free. You can do it all with free technology. Oh yeah. And some of them are scams and some of them are real and everybody wants more money, but for what you want to do, for what you're describing, the Zoom video recorder is going to be perfect, and it's free and you're already familiar with the interface. Hey, no problem. Thanks for the call, Bonnie. And see, folks, it's that easy. We can get you in the drawing for that $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate as well. 888-250-2091. All right, so Amazon's Prime Day is coming, guys. So what is Prime Day? For those of you who are Prime members, so you pay the annual amount to Amazon to get the faster shipping and the music and all the other stuff. Side story on that. Tune into the Aftershock, and during the Aftershock, guys, remind me to tell you about the what's the word I'm looking for? Your Soundtrack. Like there's a feature on Amazon Music called Your Soundtrack, and it plays music that you think that you like. And when you play music for your kids in the car, they think that I like kids' music all of a sudden, and it's creepy. But anyway, so Amazon Prime Day is when you get a whole bunch of discounts on all kinds of service or all kinds of products on Amazon. Sometimes the discounts are very, very substantial, 50, 75%, especially on Amazon products. This year we're expecting to see some big discounts on the new Echoes, the Prime TV, the Fire TV, excuse me, the Fire tablet. We're going to see some great discounts on those, but it looks like nobody really knows when Prime Day is going to be this year, because normally it's on July 15th, but it was postponed for the pandemic. It usually lasts about 48 hours, and the deals, when they come up, there's so many of them, and then when they're sold, they're gone. So it's almost like QVC, where you have to stay tuned in if there's something specific you're looking for. As of this year, Amazon has confirmed to ZDNet that its annual Prime Day extravaganza has been delayed until the fourth quarter, likely due to the coronavirus pandemic, and most recent reports evidence point out to a mid-October launch. So keep an eye out, guys. Of course, they're gonna tell you when it's going to happen because they want you to participate. But if you're looking to save some money back to buy some tech gear, or maybe pick up some Christmas gifts on the cheap, October next month would be a great time to do that. 888-250-2091. We got to take a break here at the bottom of the program, but when we come back, it's been super confusing what's going on with TikTok and WeChat. What is WeChat? And nobody actually really uses that in America. Why are we banning it? So we're going to tell you what's going on with TikTok and WeChat, kind of give you the history of what has happened, what is going to happen, and where things stand today. I know that's super exciting, but if you've got grandkids or kids, chances are they have TikTok installed on their phone, and they use it a lot. TikTok is one of the most popular video social network platforms in the United States, and it's owned by a Chinese company. So it's important things we want to talk to you about so that you know what's going on there. Also coming up on the show, if you have an iPhone, stay tuned. We're going to tell you about a couple bugs to watch out for in iOS 14. See if you can wait till iOS 14.0.1 just to make sure that you're free and clear. The lovely Kimberly got iOS 14 automatically stuffed into her phone the day it came out, and half of her apps wouldn't open. So the warning from last week was legit, but this is a completely different bug we're going to tell you about. Don't reboot your iPhone 14. That would be, or your iPhone with iOS 14. That would be bad. All right, so stay tuned, guys. 888-250-2091. Brian, hang on the line. Your call is coming up next on Compute This.
A guy called.
All right, we have a live mic.
A loud mic?
Live right now. I'm on the webcam mic.
Oh. Okay.
See, radio guys, you always have to tell everyone in the room if there's a live mic on, because, it's not that we sit here and say inappropriate things. Like, you saw the first segment, right, when we didn't realize the mic was on when the mic was off? We weren't in here like, it wasn't like that. But, you always want to make sure you're professional when there's a microphone on.
Well,
all mics are live mics.
Professional.
Yeah.
A gentleman needs blue calls.
Okay.
And he wanted to talk to you about WeTransfer. You don't want to go on it.
About doing what?
WeTransfer.com.
WeTransfer?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Either, so
Let's take a look.
I wanted to give
Any of you guys heard of WeTransfer.com? Sounds like a moving service.
Shirley? Oh, Julie, sorry about that.
Welcome to WeTransfer. Simple file sharing, no registration, and it's free. So, yeah, it's a file sharing service. Never heard of it. Interesting. All right. Well, the good news, guys, is that we won't have to do a separate broadcast for the Aftershock after the show today. We'll be able to go right into it because I won't have to change the microphone settings. And I turned up the headphones a little bit, so hopefully you can hear the callers as they come on the lines as well here. And I can go through questions while I'm in the break now, too. All right. Good morning, Greg. Mary. Hello, Mitch. Alan, good to see you, buddy. Hey, Dean. Thanks for joining us. All right, there's Winston. Good morning from Kansas. Good morning from Bellevue. Wow, people from all over the place.
Great question. I'm going to put you on hold, and we'll get to you.
Audio is okay. Audio is a little hot. Sounds fine. Good morning. Audio sounds good. Low-level hum that we can hear, and we can hear your board op. Yeah.
I laugh.
Yeah, well, we just figured that out, you know. They figured it out 20 minutes ago, so about the same time that I figured it out. I was like, wait a minute. That low-level hum you're hearing is actually my processor fan in my laptop. I've got an Intel Core i7 in here doing the radio show, and the processor, for whatever reason right now, is pegged out at 100%. Like, it's working as hard as it can possibly work to deliver video, which I was wondering the other day why my fan was on so hot. And I mean, this thing's got a dedicated GPU and everything else in it, so the utilization is off the charts. It's using the full 3.2 gigahertz. So I think what I'm going to have to do, honestly, is somebody's got to test the new holiday special laptop, guys. And, you know, I'm here for you. No, it's we got our eyes on a particular Asus ZenBook for the holiday special laptop this year, so we do need to get one in and test it out, though. It's got a new the touchscreen touchpad, so it's an actual phone screen for the touchpad, and I need to make sure that that's going to work good for people who use the touchpad, you know, and there's only one way to do that. You just got to lay hands on it. Good morning, Karen, John. Listening on this antique thing called a radio, Jeff says. Nothing wrong with that. Did I not get the email this time? You probably did not, Loanne, if that's the case, because we did send an email out to everybody about Safe Upgrade. Thomas didn't get the email either. All right. I'm going to send a note in just to make sure that we are processing those appropriately. Oh, if you already purchased Safe Upgrade, we didn't send you an email to purchase Safe Upgrade. So if you already purchased it, that's why you may not have received the email. Alrighty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. 4 service centers to help you out when your computers are having trouble. In the Lincoln, it's just a couple blocks south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. In Omaha, 168th and Burke, across the street from the Village Point Mall. In Papillion, 84th and Highway 370. And our brand new baby Schrock, located in West Des Moines, Iowa, at 9500 University Avenue. 888-250-2091. We got some stories to get into on the show here today, guys. We got TikTok, WeChat, and the iPhone iOS 14 upgrade. But Brian has been incredibly patient on hold here, and I want to get to his call before he has to jump off the line. Brian, thanks for joining us on the program. How can I help you on Compute This today?
I'm moving overseas to Portugal in 6 months.
Ooh, yes, congratulations.
I'm wondering about the differences of laptops between the U.S. and Europe.
Gotcha. Well, the keyboards are different. You know, there are no British pound symbols or euro symbols on the American keyboard, so that could be a concern. The other thing is the power is different. So you're going to have different levels of power depending on or different types of power. So you'll need adapters, basically, for a laptop. So the laptops themselves are virtually identical. It's the power cords that are different and the keyboards that are different. Everything else is pretty much the same. You'll get a slightly more powerful laptop typically in the U.S. than you'll see overseas because of export regulations and things like that. Ironically, it's the opposite with smartphones. You get a slightly more powerful smartphone overseas than you do here. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But the other thing, too, is that the U.S. dollar exchange rate has been getting punched lately. So you're going to pay more in U.S. dollar equivalent for a laptop overseas than you'll pay for it here.
Okay. And also to touch base on one of your earlier comments, my first PC had a cassette player to the program.
Me too! Oh, I had a Commodore VIC-20 that had that. What was yours?
We've been down the road a few times. I had an Apple with 32K of memory. And I was pushing the envelope at that time.
Oh, yeah, every character of code counts. Like, not so much anymore. We can just code whatever we want. Unless you have Thor's i7 laptop that apparently is working as hard as it can possibly work just to deliver high-quality video over the internet right now. Kind of weird. All right, thank you very much for the call, Brian. I hope I answered your question. Are we good to go? Yep, we're good to go. All right, sounds good. Thanks for the time, Brian. I appreciate you joining us on the program. 888-250-2091. Sorry about that. I turned those headphones up really loud. I got some feedback there. I was trying to get the audio to the microphone in the studio. Fun times. All right, so what's going on with this TikTok thing? Like, who is the tick and who is the talk and why are they chatting? I don't understand. The U.S. Commerce Department is going to ban TikTok downloads starting today. So this means if you have the TikTok app installed on your phone or tablet, it will still be there and it will still work. You just will not receive any updates through the Google Play Store or the iTunes App Store. You're not going to be able to download a new installation of TikTok to your device. There are some ways around that if you have an Android device. As people know who like to play Fortnite on Android, Apple restricts you to the App Store. There is no choice. If it's not in the App Store, you can't get it. And right now, you can't download TikTok anymore. So what's going on here? So ByteDance is a company that is in America, but it's owned by China. And this company makes the very popular social media platform called TikTok. TikTok is a short-form video platform, and you see, pretty much everybody's teenagers are using TikTok to make stupid little videos, and sometimes for more nefarious things. But most of the time, you recall the presidential campaign even uses TikTok. President Trump's campaign was supposed to have millions and millions of people show up for a rally. They had all this extra space set aside, but then they realized they got punked by a bunch of kids on TikTok because they were taking reservations for the rally through TikTok. And so a bunch of kids got together and said, let's send in fake registrations, and most of the people who signed up through TikTok were actually fake. So TikTok is a very, very, very popular social media platform. So it's not as big as Facebook, it's not as big as Twitter, but imagine the social aspects of Facebook combined with the video capability of Twitter, all in short form. So literally it's 30-second, 2-minute video or less. And kids will just sit there and scroll through the video and watch the video after video after video. Just like back in the day, you would sit down and just watch episode after episode of different TV shows. Oh, it's time for Family Feud. You'd watch that. Oh, now it's Wheel of Fortune. You'd watch that. Same thing. The kids are just doing it on their phones. Now the challenge is all these videos, all this data. Whenever you install an app on your phone, it collects data about what you're doing with the app. It collects data about your handset, about what kind of hardware it's installed on. And depending on the permissions that you give it, it can actually collect a lot of information about you. It can download your contacts. It can activate your microphone or your camera on your phone. It can do a lot of different things. TikTok is an app that requires access to your contacts for social media purposes, to your camera for video purposes, to your microphone for audio purposes. These are all reasonable things you would give TikTok permission to use on your device, right? So if you have access to all that and you're a communist government and all the data that comes from that, what are you going to do with it? Now, one of the big reasons why TikTok is getting banned is because China needs facial recognition data from countries that are not Asian, because they don't have a lot of the facial ethnic types that we have in America or that they have in Europe or in Canada. They just don't have those ethnicities present in sufficient numbers to develop a database of facial characteristics. You remember back when facial technology was new, it was really good at detecting white people, but it had trouble detecting people of ethnicity. Nobody on the dev team was of ethnicity, apparently. Or there wasn't a sufficient number of them to get enough samples of that ethnicity's facial features to develop a facial recognition algorithm to recognize people. Because all this is a math equation figuring out who you are. And part of that is what race you are. So it's just using math to figure all that out, but you need a data set for math. You have to be able to test your equations. And if you don't have a data set, you can't test them. So TikTok is actually potentially helping China develop a global facial recognition program so that they can literally have machines watch every piece of video that everyone everywhere produces and build a dossier on everyone on the planet so that if they ever needed it, they can push a button and have all the information about you. Most people don't care. Most kids especially are like, I don't really care about China. these are the kids that are going to grow up and be the president of the United States someday. And they don't care about it right now. But China doesn't play the short game, they play the long game. And just because kids aren't concerned about their data doesn't mean the U.S. government's not concerned about foreign entities archiving data about our children and saving it for when they become adults later in life and doing whatever with it. Especially when some kids might make some poor choices about what to record on a video camera, if you know what I mean. There's just no need to have a communist government have access to that. And that's one of the reasons why the Commerce Department is basically banning these apps. The other app is an app called WeChat. Americans don't use WeChat for the most part. People who use WeChat are people who do business in China. WeChat is like the Facebook of China. And so if you're doing business in China, you're using WeChat. If you have family in China, you're using WeChat. WeChat's been banned as well. Same concept there. It does a lot of the same things. And it has almost zero American impact. So, of course, they just outright banned that. So there's an August 14 order that gave TikTok's parent company ByteDance 45 days to sell its business to the U.S., to a business in the U.S. According to the order, any transaction with TikTok's owner or subsidiaries is prohibited. So anytime ByteDance gets any information or money from a resident of the U.S., that is prohibited. All they do is collect data. You said you're uploading videos. That's data. You can't take it. So in other words, you can't give it to ByteDance. So ByteDance is trying to sell the TikTok company, but not the algorithm. And the algorithm, the secret sauce that ranks the videos and decides what video to show what kid to keep them hooked on the platform for longer, that's where the true value of this company lies. Not in all the key people who use it, it's the algorithm. Because with the algorithm, you can repeat TikTok. And so TikTok wants to sell it to an American company, but not give them the algorithm and have ByteDance remain a silent partner in the background. So that's why President Trump is giving them a little bit more time. In other words, there was some wiggle room. We're going to ban downloads, but we're not going to outright ban the app until December. That gives everybody more time to talk. Honestly, I don't know that it's a bad thing that they banned it, because what's every kid on the planet going to do before the ban goes in? If I tell you can't smoke cigarettes, you're going to go smoke cigarettes. If I tell you have to wear a mask, you're going to tell me you don't want to wear a mask. If I tell you can't have TikTok, you're going to say, by golly, I'm an American and it's my God-given freedom right to have TikTok. And I will TikTok. I will tick the talk. You don't even know what it does. I don't care what it does. Government said I can't have it. No, so anyway, so I'm sure a lot of people, I'm being tongue-in-cheek, guys, but a lot of people probably downloaded TikTok because they're like, well, I won't be able to do it later, so I may as well, just in case I want to use it, download it now. So it probably was a nice spike in downloads for them. 888-250-2091. When we come back from the break, we got to tell you a little bit about the iPhone situation that's going on. iPhone iOS 14. I guess it's not just iPhone, it's iPad as well. The lovely Kimberly had some issues with it, and some other people around the globe are having some issues with it as well. We're going to tell you why you shouldn't reboot your iPhone. Of course, Julie, your call also coming up next on Compute This. Whew. I don't know what drainage, sinus stuff today.
Yeah,
oh man. So this is the stuff we talk about during the breaks, guys. I mean, it's really entertaining, but
We're excited.
like trying not to sound nasally while I'm talking, even though my nose is completely stuffed up and I can't breathe through it. Hopefully you can't hear that too well. All right, we can hear you. No email there. Got that. Okay. I sort desktop icons, and when the computer reboots, they are unsorted. Yeah, probably because you've got the auto arrange turned on, Keith. If you right click, you can turn off auto arrange, and it'll leave the desktop icons where you put them. We can hear the lovely Kimberly. She's not here. I don't know, Richard. Have you had your coffee yet? Everybody take a sip for Richard. Richard. All right. Oh, that's Emily the board op. Oh, okay. There we go. All right, Richard, you're not crazy. I was like, you're not crazy.
Just ends.
There's no commercial going except you and the lady behind you. She's in front of me. She's right there. But yes, if you really want to hear the commercials, guys, these are the same commercials you've been listening to for like 2 years. These are our commercials. We need to record new ones. I have new ones written. I just have to send them to Scott so he can code them up for me, or voice them for me. Code them up. Voice them. Code them. industry, potato. No caller audio. Okay, I tried to put the headphones way up by the microphone so you could hear it. That's one of the downsides of me selecting the wrong microphone in the lab here. In the lab? What's going on with me today? In the studio. I'm not in the data recovery lab. I was thinking commercials, data recovery, lab. My brain today.
More coffee, Thor.
All right, folks, welcome back to Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. The hour just flew by. The good news, though, is once the program is concluded, we do another show called the After Schrock. So after the show is over, we're going to break, and then we're going to, and I've decided that even though I'm on the right camera, we are going to take a break because I might need to go potty and stuff like that. You know, you guys can go anytime. I have to sit here on camera the whole time, right? So anyway, I'm going to go blow my nose. I sound so stuffed up today. I'm sorry about that. There's just nothing I can do. I don't know what, my sinuses are going crazy. 30-degree temperature swings on a daily basis will do that to you. It's not the Rona. It's just allergies. 888-250-2091. One of the big things I wanted to mention this week, guys, there are tons of updates this week. Adobe had a really, really important one to protect you from infected PDFs. Firefox had a really important one. Apparently, especially for mobile devices, there was a bug that would allow a hacker on a wireless network to take control of everybody's Firefox browser if they were on a mobile device, and they could launch web pages to send you to malicious websites. So there's a patch that's already been released for that. If you have Safe Upgrade, you already have these patches. One of the things in the service centers that we're starting to do now is a lot of customers, I don't know if my guys just aren't explaining it, like what it does properly, or what the situation is, but Safe Upgrade, what we see is when people have Safe Upgrade, they tend to renew Safe Upgrade. They tend to keep it. I mean, you always have a little bit of churn, but I mean, most of our subscribers stay. But we've seen a drop-off in new subscribers, and the Des Moines Service Center isn't subscribing as heavily as the other service centers. So that's what leads me to believe this might be a training thing on the presentation of what Secure Updater does. But it's a vital piece of your PC's security landscape, because your antivirus does not do these updates. Microsoft does not do these updates for you. And yes, you will eventually get that Adobe update. Adobe says we'll install it on your computer sometime in the next 45 days. For this mission critical super security patch update, but you'll get it sometime in the next month and a half. Wouldn't you rather have it every 8 hours to make sure that you get the patches immediately when they're launched? For example, this morning they just pushed out an update for CCleaner. Not a super critical thing, it's just a maintenance update. We're going to get you an update though. That's just what we do with Secure Updater. So if you haven't tried Secure Updater yet, you can download a free copy of it at secureupdater.com. secureupdater.com. You get a free 15-day trial. We don't ask you for a credit card or any of that garbage. You can decide, we want the program to be, we want you to choose it on the merits of the program and not because you forget and you have a subscription. So basically, secureupdater.com, download it to your computer, give it a try. If your Secure Updater icon is black, that means you're either not signed in or your subscription is expired. So if you look down in the lower right-hand corner by your clock and that Secure Updater icon is black, you need to give us a call so we can get you up and running, or you need to sign in so that you can get the updates that you need. 888-250-2091. Let's jump into those phones again. Julie, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This today? You're welcome. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, everybody's got it on their phones at this point. So it's in there somewhere. Apple phones have it in a different place than Android phones do, but basically the first iteration of this, the idea is your Bluetooth technology can detect signal strength, which means we can estimate how close you are to another person's phone. So if we can estimate how close you are to their phone, we can estimate how close you are to that person, which means if we, in a perfect communist utopia, if we knew everybody's health status and we had the ability to share everybody's information with no barriers, we could socially distance everybody perfectly and contact trace everybody perfectly so that anyone who gets COVID gets to stay in their house for 2 weeks until they get a negative COVID test, and then anyone they came in contact with stays in their house, and anyone who came in contact with the people who came in contact with the infected person, and so on and so forth, stays in their house. The problem is you can't really do that in the United States because people have privacy. There's HIPAA regulations, number one. And that seems to have gone out the window during the whole pandemic. Like, nobody cares about medical privacy anymore. Like, before, it was like you're a doctor's office, you had to buy all new computers and tech because of HIPAA. And now, if I go into Longhorn Steakhouse, they need a DNA sample. But with the COVID trackers on your phone, what's happening there is the first iteration of this is we are going to create a framework so that Apple and iPhone can talk to each other, and so that we can have a common framework that then other agencies like health agencies can code apps to do contact tracing, and we can automate it and make it really cool. So Apple and Google got together and did this. They still can't allow you to FaceTime from an Apple device to a Google device because that would be too, no, we can't do that. Otherwise Papa wouldn't have bought an iPhone. But anyway, sorry, I'm blending my stories there. But so now what ended up happening is only about 6 health departments actually made apps to take advantage of Google and Apple's efforts. Google and Apple found that pretty disappointing. So they've decided to take it a step further now, and they're going to do the contact tracing themselves and cut out the third party. It's on your phone by default, but it is disabled by default. You have to enable it. So that's one concession. The other thing is the phone has no idea if you are positive or not. There's no health reporting mechanism from your doctor's office to have your doctor report you as being a COVID positive patient. So you have to take the time to tell your phone that you are COVID positive. And then when it does report to the people you've had contact with, it doesn't say, Julie's got the Rona, cooties, watch out. It says someone you came in close contact with may have the coronavirus, and you should go get tested. And so that's the idea behind the contact tracing. So does that answer the question, Julie?
Sure, now I'll just have to try to find it.
All right, sounds good, Julie. Thanks for joining us on the program. Have a great afternoon. All right, one other quick thing I want to tell you about before we get into the iPhone story here is another program that we make called Drive Advisor. This one is completely free. And I'm going to talk about trademarks. We're going through the process of getting formal. Of course, we have trademarks because it's software. It's automatically copyright. It's automatically a trademark. But we want to have that trademark federally recognized. And when we made the software, we give it a descriptive name like Drive Advisor. And apparently there's a reason that every other tech company on the planet names their stuff TikTok, Uber, DoorDash. There's a reason that they give their stuff stupid names. Fiverr. Yeah. Twitter. Because when you name your product something descriptive of its service, like Drive Advisor, it's too descriptive to trademark without a big old legal bill. Yeah. So anyway, what is Drive Advisor and why are we trying to trademark it? Drive Advisor is a program that we made that silently monitors the health of the hard drive on your computer. It only works on PC, so you put it on your PC, it monitors the health of your hard drive. When your hard drive starts to fail, as someday it will, 14.9% of hard drives are in a failure state that we're monitoring right now. So of all the drives that we've ever scanned, 14.9% of them were bad. So there's of the people listening to me, 14% of you have bad hard drives right now and have no idea. So install Drive Advisor on your computer. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. There's no ads. There's no pro version. There's no, pop-ups or anything like that. It's just a free program to monitor your hard drive's health. Of course, if you do end up with a bad hard drive, we hope you'd bring it to us to let us resolve that for you. But whoever your computer IT guy is, you might be in Kansas City. You may not have a computer IT guy. You may be in Texas. You may not be able to get to a Schrock, right? So either way, you at least know your hard drive is failing, and if you detect it early enough, you can get your important files off before it crashes entirely. You can download a free copy of Drive Advisor at driveadvisor.com. It's advisor with an ER, Drive Advisor, because it's made in America. All right, 888-250-2091. Last thing of the show we've got today. I keep looking up to my right because there used to be a clock right there, and now there's just a round stain on the wall. What was the clock protecting the wall from that got on everything else? What goes on in this studio when I'm not here? Oh, my goodness. But Apple released iOS version 14. So Apple releases iOS 14 and downloads it to a lot of handsets automatically. The lovely Kimberly got iOS 14. And she could probably post some comments about it on Facebook over here. But the day she got it, she was like, "Yeah, my iPhone is just getting squirrely, and it's half my stuff won't open." And I was like, "Did you get the new update?" She goes, "Yeah, I downloaded overnight." And I was like, "Did you not look at the Facebook page? Like, I thought it came up in your feed. I didn't realize." So I was like, "Yeah, don't install iOS 14." She goes, "Well, it did it automatically." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Well, basically, the reason that we were saying don't install it last week was because they didn't give developers any real time to test their apps against it. So developers were freaked out that their apps may not open or may not work properly with iOS 14, and a good chunk of them did not. And so now those have been pretty much resolved now. They pushed out updates for the apps and got them taken care of. Minor inconvenience to users, unfortunately. But a bigger inconvenience is if you don't use Apple's default apps. So let's say you like to use Outlook for your email. Let's say you like to use Firefox or Chrome for your browser instead of the Apple Mail app and Safari. Well, if you reboot your iPhone, it's going to reset your defaults back to those Apple products automatically every time. Every time. So it's a minor bug. It's nothing to like freak out and worry about. It's a very small thing. But it's one of those annoying things that if you reboot your phone, you have to go back and reset your default applications. I'm sure this is going to get taken care of in iOS 14.0.1, which if you haven't already installed iOS 14, just chill out. You're not missing anything here. There's not a huge security update that's going to really worry you or anything. Just make sure that when the 14.01 comes out, make sure you do grab that. There are some enhancements that would be nice, but nothing that I want you to blow up your device over. All right, we got to draw the winner of the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Today it's Brian. Congratulations, you got yourself $25. Wasn't Brian leaving the country? We better get this out to him quick. All right, Addie will send that out to you Monday, Brian, but you got yourself a $25 Schrock gift certificate. So if you're looking for a laptop, that's a good way to put that $25 to work for you. All right, I want you to remind everybody, stay tuned for the Aftershock. We're going to end the program here, then we're going to start the Aftershock and go into that. Make sure you share the show on Facebook. Make sure you click like. We really appreciate that. It helps us spread the word about Schrock Innovations and everything that we do. And thank you for coming into the Service Center and helping us out. Make sure you check out Safe Upgrade. Click on Shop and Specials to get your copy before they're sold out. And we'll see you again next weekend for another exciting edition of Compute This. All right, guys, we are going to take a quick break here so you don't have to stare at the wall behind me, the KFAB Dead Air logo. Boop. Funny thing is, I don't know why last week, but this box on the wall up here, I was like, what is that? That looks like it's in mint condition, right? It's like perfect. I don't know why. I went on eBay and I put in the model number of that box. The front faceplate for that box sells for $300. This studio is full of valuable antiques. Gotta get them out of here. Then we can put screens up, big screens. Yeah. All right. That sounds like such a 20-year-old kid thing to say. All right, we're gonna take a quick break, guys, and then I'm gonna use the restroom, get some stuff together here, send this email, and then I'll be back for the Aftershock. So stay tuned on Facebook. We'll be back here in just a couple seconds.